Alright guys, I received a lot of requests about this video. It's called 2020 The World is Being Prepared for Dajjal. Alright. Meanwhile, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm RealGee. Let's react to this video, and see what he's talking about. With no further ado, let's go.
We Muslims have been told about this man who is called Dajjal, Dajjal, by our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than any other religion in the entire world, because he is the last messenger and there is no other messenger or prophet after him. And he spoke about him in so much detail because the time for him to arise and walk on earth and do what he's going to do is very close. Let's begin by saying what the Dajjal, that word, means. The word Dajjal. What is Dajjal?
Yeah, that's what I'm focused on. I've heard about this Dajjal, but I don't know what it means. So let's find out.
Dajjal.
I'm curious,
In English, D-A-J-J-A-L. I think that's how it is it's going to be on Netflix or whatever. Dajjal is an Arabic word meaning, you know how you have someone who lies? You got a liar, someone who says something that's not true, right?
Yeah.
And it's something worse than just lying.
Oh.
It's when you mix truth with false.
With false.
And you say it and show it in a way that anyone who hears about it or looks at it,
We say it's true.
they believe it, and it's so hard to disprove it, to say it's not true.
Okay.
Because it's mixed with truth and false.
Now I understand.
There is a word for it today in the 21st century, and it's called
Anyway, he makes everything clear right here. This is very clear.
deception. Dajjal means,
Dajjal
the
means-
closest word I know of in English is deception.
Deception.
You know, when you watch stuff on Hollywood, any movie, that's what they do a lot of the times. If you have ever listened to music, and we all hear music when we go to the shops or wherever we go, music is playing. Let's not lie to ourselves. Music is everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
You go to school, there's music. What can you do? But in the music, there's also words and lyrics, all right? And things that the artists, the musicians do on stage and say that also is called deception. So what do? They show you things and sing things that sound nice, which makes it easier for you to believe because you get moved, right? You start moving to the beats, isn't that correct? And everybody else listens to it, and then you think, man, I'm going to be left out. I better listen to this stuff. I better watch it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And you think it's cool.
But it's not cool.
And what happens in there is that they take the opportunity to make you believe things that you're not supposed to believe.
Oh.
Now, I know we're in the masjid, I don't like giving these examples, but I see a lot of young people, and what I think is that we shouldn't hide talking about things that young people now see and hear. I'm a teacher, and I talk to my students all the time. And I see some of like my parents and their generation, there's things they just won't talk about. But what I see is that we have to talk about them because the young people are already there. You guys are already seeing stuff that we think, oh, my kids don't see it, they don't hear it, I better not talk about it, it's called taboo. No.
They've already.
I think we have to talk about it. We have to address it. And I'm not one of those people who's going to hide from it. I always talk and I'm blunt with it because I believe that this is what we need. And I've seen a lot of brothers who've got children, they don't talk to their children about things that you're supposed to talk about that's happening in this world.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro, that's true. He is saying the right thing. This is true. This is true, bro. That's the fact, bro. I'm telling you. Especially children.
The next minute when their children go lost, the parents come to me and say, please help my children. And I say, well, we should have talked about this, before. And we've got to talk about these things. So that's why I'm bringing up music and I'm bringing up these Hollywood movies and all that stuff. So in the music industry, I won't say names of musicians, but for example, there was this musician and the likes of her and him a lot. She stood up on stage, and then what she did was she kissed another musician, another woman. She's a woman, and kissed another woman on her lips on stage. All right? And that was only a few years back. And everybody goes, what? This is disgusting. This shouldn't be done. But what she said was, she goes, we musicians, we have a role to play. I'm sick and tired. This is what she said. I want you to listen carefully. I'm sick and tired of people following rules and order. Following rules and order. Correct? And I want people to go out of these rules and orders and do what they want to do. So I'm going to promote this relationship of woman with woman, right? And as time went on, it became normal. Isn't that correct? Normal. There's lots of things now that if you went 15 years back, they were so abnormal. Am I right? Now, they're normal. In Norway, there's an article that I read that there are people protesting. They're going to the government to say if they can marry their pets.
What?
Wallahi.
What?
And there are other people in Texas, in America, and
Really? No.
other places, they are saying
What you saying?
to legalize something called pedophilia. And there are others who are saying we want to legalize incest. Brothers and sisters marrying each other.
Bro, legalize pedophilia. That's bullshit. No, I don't support that, bro.
Brothers, do you know what I'm trying to tell you here? I'm trying to talk to you about the Dajjal. But before I talk about the Dajjal, did you know that things are going to happen before the Dajjal comes? You see, deception, which is to mix truth with lies and make people believe it and make it so hard to disbelieve it. That doesn't happen overnight. Listen to this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ first. Let me just share with you this hadith. 1,400 years ago, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the Dajjal, from the time of Adam alayhi salam, till the end of time, from the time of Adam till the end of time, this entire world, he said, there is no bigger trial, fitna, than the trial of Dajjal. Dajjal is the biggest trial that's going to come to the people. Now, before the Dajjal can come, a road, a path is being prepared for him to come, so that he can be accepted immediately. The Dajjal is the one-eyed, the liar, the deceiver. For him to deceive the people so good and to be the biggest trial, the people would have already gotten used to deception already. We have to live in a time of what we can call in Arabic Dajjal, a time of deception, so that the real deceiver can come and it's all set up for him. Do you understand? I see Muslims themselves now today moving away from the real deen and making up their own beliefs. We see them all the time. Some of them, they say, you know, I think prayer is what you think prayer should be. There are now some Muslims, they call themselves Muslim. They say, we only believe in what the Quran says, but we don't believe anything the Prophet, peace be upon him, said. They're called the Quraniyun, the Quranites. You know what they do? They bring you the verse about salat, and they say, well, the Quran doesn't say exactly how to pray, so we get to make up the way we want to pray. Do you understand? There are Muslims now in Australia, there's also in America, I don't know about the UK, but there are Muslim so-called imams who say that being homosexual is allowed in Islam. It's halal, it's legal, and they do gay marriages and everything, you know, in the name of Islam. All right, you want to be gay, go ahead and be that. But don't come and twist the Quran. The Quran says it's haram, it's forbidden. So does Christianity and Judaism, you know, it's known. But what I'm saying is, there is a time when even some people who dress like imams will make you believe in a different religion than Islam, and they will call it Islam. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's deception. And the shaitan helps the Dajjal. Do you know that the shaitan, Iblis, the head of the shayateen, right from the beginning when Adam alayhi salam was created, he said something.
قال فبما أغويتني لأقعدن لهم صراطك المستقيم ثم لآتينهم من بين أيديهم ومن خلفهم وعن أيمانهم وعن شمائلهم ولا تجد أكثرهم شاكرين.
He goes, you know the people who follow, the children of Adam, the children of Adam, those who are Muslim, those who follow your book, O Allah, I am going to go to their religion, I'm going to sit waiting for them at their religion, and I'm going to make them believe a different religion. I will make them practice their religion the wrong way. He'll deceive you, he'll deceive me. Why? In preparation for the Dajjal. All the deception has to happen because when the Dajjal comes out, he doesn't call himself an Imam. You know what he calls himself? He calls himself Prophet Isa alayhi salam himself.
What?
The Dajjal calls himself, I am Prophet Isa. But he's lying.
Prophet Jesus.
Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said, one night, he was going on Isra wal Mi'raj. You know Isra wal Mi'raj, the story? Okay. So he said, Jibreel alayhi salam took me to the Kaaba. And I was praying at the Kaaba. This hadith is in Sahih Muslim for whoever wants to see it. He says, he took me in front of the Kaaba. And then after I finished, I looked to my right or left. And I see a young man. His hair is nice and long. It comes up to his shoulders. It's neither too straight nor too wavy. And it looks like water is on it, but it doesn't really have water. So it's got really beautiful, silky, shiny hair. And his face, his features is dark, Adami, which means he's got a dark features. And he had two people with him that he was putting his hands on their shoulders. And I liked the way he looked. So I asked Jibreel, who is that? And Jibreel said, that is your brother, Isa alayhi salam. Isa ibn Maryam, the real Isa. He goes, then I looked to the other side and I saw another young man. And this young man, he was one of the biggest sizes that I've ever seen. He wasn't tall, but he was just big. And his hair was very coarse, very rough hair, right? And one of his eyes, the right eye, it was bulging like a grape. He can't see from it. It's gone. So he can't see from it. It's blind from the right eye. And the left eye, he also called it in another hadith, he says it's a'war as well. A'war means it's deformed. So both his eyes are deformed. They don't look normal. But one, the right eye can't see from it, the left eye can see from it. That's why he's called al-a'war al-Dajjal, the one with the deformed eyes. So Prophet ﷺ is describing him to us so well. Anyway, he says, and he had two people and he was leaning on their shoulder. And the Prophet ﷺ said, oh Jibreel, who is that? And he said, that is Al-Masih Ad-Dajjal. So, when the Dajjal comes out, the world is ready for him. The Jews will follow the Dajjal. Why? Because the Jews, they didn't believe that Isa alayhi salam really came. Remember, they believe that he's an imposter. Isa, the true Isa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lifted him. They didn't crucify him, nor they killed him. They killed someone else. Now the Jews who became Jews later on, they were the ones in the children of Israel who wanted to kill Isa alayhi salam. And they boasted, they said, we killed him. That's in the Quran. And they became the Jews. And what they're saying right now is, they're saying the true Messiah is yet to come. We are waiting for him. So they didn't believe in the true Isa alayhi salam, and they didn't believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So who are they waiting for now? They're waiting for Isa to come. Guess who they're going to get? They're going to get the Dajjal. What will he say? I am? I am Isa.
Okay.
You know that?
Okay.
But he's lying. The true Isa alayhi salam comes afterwards, and he will kill the false Messiah.
Now I understand what he's saying, where he's landing.
But there's another sheikh talking about it, inshallah. I'll leave it for him.
Deception.
The Christians will follow the Dajjal. Why? Because they believe that Isa is going to come back, alayhi salam. So do we. But they don't know about the Dajjal as we know about him. Now, the Christians believe that Jesus is the Son of God. And they also call Jesus God. Isn't that correct? They call him God.
No. They don't call Jesus God. Jesus, they call his Son of God. But the God is God. Jesus is not God. From my own point of view.
So it's not going to be hard for the Dajjal to convince them that he is Jesus Christ. Guess what else he's going to say after that? The Prophet ﷺ says he will stay among the people in the world for 40 mornings, 40 days. In the beginning he'll tell the people, I am Isa, the son of Mary. And the people start following. And they follow him because he also shows miracles. Well, that's what he calls them. He calls them miracles. But Allah gave him certain trials. For example, the Prophet ﷺ told us that he will get to a mountain, a hill, and he will order all of its treasures to come out, and the treasures will be found.
No, for the point of view, I'm gonna say this real quick. No, Christians, they are not saying that Jesus is God. No, that's wrong. That's not what they're saying. I'm a Christian. They are saying Jesus is the Son of God, not God. I mean, repeat, Son of God, not God. God is God, the Father of Jesus, but Jesus is Son. So they are not saying that Jesus is God.
Very easily, as if they're serving him. He will order clouds to come and unite, and he will make the rain fall in lands that don't grow. And the people look and they go, oh wow, he gave us crops, he gave us, truly he is the Son of God, maybe. Right? They start believing he's Jesus Christ. And he starts doing all these things, right? The people who don't follow him, they live in hardship, in misery. They're going to get hungry, they're going to get thirsty. It's very, very hard on them. So the rest start following him. After a few days, what does he say? He says, I am God. I am your Lord. I am God. It's not going to be hard for them to believe that he is God. They just saw all these beautiful miracles, apparently. First he goes, I am Jesus. And the Christians already say that Jesus is God. It's part of the Trinity.
Come on, no. Christians. I'm Christian too, but yeah, I'm proving it wrong. Like some imam, there's some false imam. There will be some false Christians saying that word. But the real Christians, they are not saying that Jesus is God, bro. Jesus is not God. Let's make it clear. You know, that's the false Christians are saying that Jesus is God. Like imam saying that all this deception, something about some certain things that is not supposed to be done. You know,
it's not going to be hard. Do you understand what's happening? Now the whole world is getting prepared for that.
All right. This is a nice message right here. I understand what he is saying, but I just want to correct him about this. Christians are not saying that Jesus is God, bro. Jesus is not. I'm a Christian. Jesus is not God. God is God. Jesus is Son of God. That's what Christians are saying. They are not saying that Jesus is God. Maybe false Christians may be saying, they'll be saying that, but that's their own problem. Like some false Islams or Muslims, imams may be saying some wrong things, but the real Muslims are saying the real things. That's the same thing with Christians. Real Christians are saying the same thing. False Christians are saying the false thing. So that's it. But I understand this is a nice message, right? A nice story right here. Everything is just clear, but I make it up. So that's my own point of view. I don't know. You all should leave a comment and tell me what you think about that. But this is what I know about everything. But this is a nice video right here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share my videos. Thank you guys for watching. See you. Peace out.